What is going on, my peoples, and my plant peoples? So, welcome again. I am Jumanji's Plant, and we have another good video. It's always about plants on here, a little therapy, a little psychology, you know, because I'm into both the mental health and the plants. So that's just a little bit of the trick of the trade for myself. I've been meaning to do this one for quite some time. I've been moving plants in and out of here or whatnot. You know what? I didn't even ask you how y'all was doing. First of all, how y'all doing? What is the business? Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that. And of course, it always gonna get better. It's always gonna get better. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you got some planning to do, or you just watching me, or trying to see the latest and greatest updates, you are definitely in the right place. I got my two kickers that I've had for at least a year now. I have them decorated differently, so I'll talk about that. Also, kind of how I have it set up, and yeah. So I guess I'll go ahead and I'll show you a video of how it's set up first, and then we'll go into what's actually in it and how it's working, and you know, updates on it and all that stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get into that. So over here I have my two kickers. I got these kickers from IKEA. I think they were maybe 20 bucks, a little bit less than 20 bucks. I'm not exactly sure what they're going for now, but when they first came out last year, I definitely jumped on them. I'm glad I did. Would I buy another one? Yes, I would. I got some other plants that are around it, so I'll introduce those plants just as well, because I don't want to get you guys, of course, out the loop. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So right here, this beautiful, gorgeous beauty right here is my Patriciae. She was a lot bigger than this right here, and then of course I had to cut her down. Right now I just have her pretty much in Spagnomoss moss. I got a water vessel there. This right here is a heat mat or whatnot, and it's actually been doing very, very well. Been giving me out some absolutely gorgeous leaves, as you kind of see here. So I like this vessel. The water being that is just pretty much sphagnum moss in there, keep this sphagnum moss growing pretty well. So as you can kind of see, you know, roots are starting to come out of there. I'm sure if I took it out or looked at the back, you would notice that there are some roots in there, but this isn't about the Patriciae. I'll give you guys an update on that one later. Right here, these of course are the Antheriums, Pterodactyl, Clarinervium. They are doing well. And then I also got some other little plant pots in there. You know, some interesting. That's definitely giving albino, elbow, but you know, I ain't gonna do too much, but hey, that sure looking good, ain't it? And then around here, this right here, I believe is a 6'9", 6'6". It used to be a lot taller, and I think it was just battling like spider mites and stuff like that. So of course I had to go ahead and dead it. And that's why this big pole is on here, and that's why it's in here. So I try not to water this just as much. There are of course some leaves and like that stuff growing out of there. Roots are still in there, so it's still some possibility. This right here, of course, is a Florida Beauty, just green version. So this one has been battling spider mites too. Of course, I now have some neem oil mixed with some Dr. Bonner's peppermint oil and water. So she has been looking a lot better. I'm definitely gonna cut this because y'all know I don't like that legginess, but I'm gonna wait till this leaf right here grows, and then I'm gonna snip it right there and then allow it to grow up, and probably just maybe put it back in the pot. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but yeah. So this right here is our UPI, looking okay. Got kind of a little deader leaf, I suppose, but we are still gonna stay hopeful. Very gorgeous plant. This is my second UPI or whatnot. Very gorgeous plant. I absolutely love it. Definitely one of my top plants, top Philodendron, just because of how unique it is. I know they kind of talk about this as far as like, you know, bugs kind of don't mess with it because it looks like it's already been eaten. So I think that is very unique evolution. So yeah. This right here is another one of my babies. I'm gonna come back to this one. So I'm gonna go over here. This right here is a Aroid, and it's obviously not looking so good. I did have it above me on the left side, but I don't know what was going on with it. So I just want to kind of move it to kind of give it like a renewed space or something like that. So of course I just kind of left it there. And just trying to figure out where the heck to put it or whatnot. So I'm just trying to figure it out or whatnot. But it's not looking as great, but we're gonna keep hope. We're gonna keep hope alive. This right here is a varicosum, as you kind of see. I just actually moved this over here or whatnot. I do have it in some Spagmoss because I just want to cut it and propagate it or whatnot. As you kind of see there, the leaves are actually looking pretty good, except for that top one, but this right here is pretty gorgeous. Another gorgeous leaf right here. And then we got another big gorgeous leaf right there. So we're looking real good or whatnot. And I do got them in some Spagmoss. I just kind of spray it maybe once or twice a day, just to keep it kind of growing, because it is Spagmoss that is exposed. So of course it will get dry faster, but that's okay, because y'all know I got my sprayer, so that's easily done. This here is my, I believe, a Splendii, and it is growing really well. I would imagine that it's probably growing at the bottom of this. Nope, okay. It is a little dry actually, but still looking absolutely gorgeous. I like, of course, the long leaves, and it's shiny. I don't even clean it. I just spray it down and it's doing really well. This here is the metal kind of chicken wire with, of course, what's this called? Spagmoss, and then chunky mix or whatnot. And as you see, the roots are growing very, very well. I do spray this pretty much daily, pretty much every day. And we got a new leaf coming out, so it's looking really good. I think I may have to chop it back, or I may just have to extend the pole. I do got more of that metal pole, so we shall see. Let me step back so that you guys can see what that look like. And of course I got my kind of propagations under there and stuff like that. So yeah, but these two are my kicker setup. They are sitting on a heat mat. I pretty much keep it on all the time. I put water in these vessels, as you kind of see over here. I just keep this water right here. It's pretty much faucet water that I just keep pretty much keep in here. And of course, you know, if it sits over like 24 hours, then of course the chlorine and all the stuff kind of dissipates from it and stuff like that. So it's pretty much clean water going in here and stuff like that. So I do spray fertilizer in there sometime. As you see, both kickers are very packed. I move plants in and out of here all the time. It has kind of like an opening and stuff like that, so, or it has like kind of space in there, so it may not be like 100% humidity, but as you can kind of see, it's definitely sweltering in there. So it helps a lot of my antheriums, especially when the leaves aren't growing as great, as well as some of the philodendrons that kind of have those opening issues. And we'll go through right now to see what plants I have in there, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the base. So let's go ahead and get into that. So cool beans, now we got a view of the area of the two kickers or whatnot. So yeah, now let's go ahead and get them down here. So now that we have both of the sockers down here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to talk about one-on-one. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Okay, so in this one right here, there are some plants that's kind of popping out of here, so we'll get a chance to see those. Some of these I just actually put poles on, so it should make it a little bit easier for the plants to start to kind of like grow up, and then once I can get them to grow, I'll put them on, of course, poles and stuff like that. So whenever, and I know a lot of people do this, whenever you're growing your plants and you want them to go on poles, you want to start them off early on a pole. So it does two things. The roots can start to embed themselves into whatever medium you got in the pole. Also, the leaves will start to go forward, just like I have on my Patriciae where all the leaves are going forward. Ideally, if I did not have it like that, the leaves will go back, forward, to the side. It'll go a little bit everywhere. So let's talk about what is in here. So this right here is my Philodendron serpents, and I'll tell you what, keeping it in this kicker right here, this is probably the longest I've ever had it. I probably had this Philodendron serpents for maybe about a couple months now. I know I got it when I last went down to Ecuador, and such a beauty. I'm excited. I put it on a pole, on like a little moss pole. It's kind of like a skewer with moss around it or whatnot, but I wanted to put something on it while it was small, and then I got another one right here that I can put a little bit bigger, that is a little bit bigger. So I'm pretty excited about having that little guy there. So yeah, like I said, it started off early on a pole, and it'll start to give you the leaves out this way, as opposed to kind of growing back and forth and all that stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into the next one. So next, of course, I have my Ludicea discolor. Such a gorgeous specimen there. Still trying to figure out the actual, I know like it's a Ludicea, but there's of course like a specific name to it. I'm still trying to figure that out, because it looked like a various amount of plants, because on the bottom it's a lot light green, on the top is darker green, and then the pattern is so unique that me trying to find it, you know how plants can just kind of like look similar to other plants, and that's what I'm finding. So if anybody is a jewel orchid plant person, definitely drop it down below. That would specifically help me out for sure. I know that I love these plants. I've just gotten into these plants and whatnot. I now have 2 of these bad boys, and as you kind of see, it's doing very well. I think especially in an enclosure like this right here, it does very well. I don't see me taking this out unless it gets so huge, and then ideally, I mean, I'll just cut it back, put it back in there so it can be a nice full pot. I love plants that are full pot as opposed to kind of singularly or whatnot. If I can put a couple of these together, then I will. But this is a gorgeous plant. If you're not into the jewel orchids, I don't know exactly what you're waiting on, but the more that I get, and I know that I got a couple different shows and stuff like that coming up, so I know I'm gonna probably have at least 4 by the end of the year, I would imagine. And then I would love to do like a video of all my jewel orchids. That'd be pretty great, right? So let's keep on going, because we have us a lot in here. So let me get this out. This here is a very skinny rendition of a Burley Marks. I had a bigger version of it, and then I had to cut it, and I actually just repotted this in this container or whatnot. I believe it was just in water, and it was actually in like a little glass vessel. If you saw it on the side of the sucker, then you would have noticed it or whatnot. But yeah, so I got it in this vessel right here. I think it really needs a lot of humidity, so for right now I'm gonna keep it in this, of course, until it outgrows this or whatnot. And I do love like the Burley Marks, like the leaves. I think that they are absolutely gorgeous. They definitely have their own characteristic or whatnot, but I just have not had the best luck with them, but I'm doing well right now. So I'll give you guys another little gander of that, and yeah, we definitely gonna keep on moving. I absolutely love this plant for sure. Okay, so next we have two of these bad boys. They were growing very viciously, so I had to put these poles on here for sure because I want them to grow very big. I love this plant here. This here is the Philodendron Brantianum, and I'm trying to be careful because I just put it on there, and these things are very wet, and these things are absolutely gorgeous. I love these plants. Easy Philodendron. I could easily just allow this to drape down, like crawl down or whatnot. I think it crawling up or being on a really nice pole or something like that. I got like the green poles that I don't mind putting this plant on. Obviously you see that there are a lot of roots growing in this plant. Every which way that I turn it, it is just growing, and it's such a gorgeous plant. Nice little gray and silver coloring on it, so I absolutely love looking in there and seeing it. And it is so freaking huge that I had to kind of like separate it to just to make sure that other plants, because you know how sometimes like you have plants and if they're touching too much, then it's almost kind of like they like die back or something. So that's kind of how some of my plants are. They're a little bit kind of territorial, so got to move them out the way and try to make room for everybody else. So yeah, this here is the Philodendron Florida Beauty. This is variegated. This one leaf isn't, but the first leaf that it had on it was variegated, so I'm hoping that it will come back to me. Right now, I'm just happy for this right here because the leaf fell off. I now have it in here. I can see that there are, if you can see that little right there, there are roots in there. So we're doing really good. This is the first time I've had a Florida Beauty, variegated or whatnot. So I'm very excited about having this one right here. Nice little leaf. I keep it in here because it looked like it was not doing well on unfolding or whatnot. So I prop it in here and it just makes it a lot easier. I'm gonna pull this one out here. I'm trying to oh no! Trying to be careful. Okay. So this here is my Philodendron Pink Princess, and you can only see but so much pink, but this is a pink princess. But I mean, obviously it's not doing its best, but we are trying. So yeah, it's not too much to say about it. It's still growing, so it only gave me look like one kind of pink leaf in there. So what can you say? I think that Philodendron Pink Princesses are honestly like such like shit plants, if I'm being very honest. It's only like if you have a real nice pink princess, like guard it like with your life, like with your absolute life. Those plants, like the way they die back is so crazy. I know for myself, I just haven't found the juice for them, but yeah, it is insane. It's insane, but she's looking good right now. Hopefully we can get some more variegated leaves, but if we don't, it is what it is. It is what it is. Next we have, my Philodendron Pink Princess kind of dropped on it, but it looked like it still could be good. This here is my begonia, I believe it's called a Flamico. Let me move my face out of there. Very gorgeous begonia. It's a begonia Rex, so I'm expecting, of course, a lot more bushy, but it's still new. I got like a one leaf cutting or whatnot, so I'm not pushing it or anything like that. It's doing very well, especially in here. I can't wait to, of course, take it out of here and it has like a nice big bloom. One thing I like about begonias is that, you know, you can cut it, put it back in there, and, you know, you can get you a big bushy type of ordeal. So I like this for me. I would love that for you. Begonias I'm just not getting into, so I think I have maybe 3 begonias. Yeah, I think I have 3 begonias. So I would love to do a video on that. I know it'd be like really short, but I'm hoping, of course, to buy some new begonias because I like begonias. I think that they are really pretty. I don't want too many begonias because they can get a little too much, if y'all know what I'm talking about. So trying to move this. I will say this: when you have these suckers, making room in them can be pretty challenging sometimes. This right here, I believe, is a Mexicanum, if I'm not mistaken. Nice shiny looking leaves. These are definitely, it's probably more than likely was a prop because I did have my Mexicanum, and I had to chop it back, so I would imagine that this is what it is or whatnot, but it's looking really good so far. Look like something that you can sell as like a seedling or something like that. But of course, I'll keep you guys updated on this little beauty here. Yeah, and we're almost done. I think we got just one more plant in here. So I have 2 of them in here, but I'm only gonna just bring out one. So this here is the Epipremnum pinnatum variegata. Very gorgeous plant. I just saw somebody actually on Instagram with one of these right here, and these things grow like a weed. So, and I like how like they're kind of skinny. So I imagine that I'm gonna put both of these together, and it's just gonna make a nice little bushy plant or whatnot. I love the variegation on it. I think that it is a very easy plant. I believe that once I take it out of here and I probably put it back there, then it's gonna grow really fast, really quickly, because I haven't had this one in here for a really long time, and as you kind of see, it's growing. And you can see like these roots are fuzzy, so that tells you that, you know, the plant is doing some good. I would imagine that if it does get, well, I need to really get it on a pole, and I think that it would really take off. So you'll be seeing this on an update of trying to plant and pole or something like that. So I can see even like right here, that little white one right there. Yeah, so, or that little white root. So I do want to get this on a pole. I think that it's a very, very gorgeous plant, and probably ready to share too, you know, because it's such a wild plant that I imagine that it's pretty easy to deal with. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to the antheriums now, because this is pretty much everything other than antheriums. So the begonias, the philodendrons, the jewel orchid, yeah, that's pretty much it in there. So let's go ahead and get over to the antheriums. Okay, so now we have our antheriums, and this one should go by a lot quicker because a lot of these are kind of like repeat plants, and a lot of these are kind of similar plants to each other and stuff like that. Obviously, well, I don't know if you can kind of see on his back is where I had to like chop some of these up and stuff like that. So we'll start in the front and then we'll go to the back. So this here, I believe is an Antherium Gaskill. Looks like that leaf is falling off. So I believe this to be an Antherium Gaskill. I have 2 of them in there. I got some seedlings or whatnot. So this is going to be a gorge plant once it get a lot bigger. Y'all know I like pendant like antheriums, so I'm pretty excited about having these right here. And I love starting plants off small because then they can grow into or grow from my environment, so that makes it a lot easier for me when I want to adjust it and move it around. I would imagine that when it starts to give me bigger leaves, because this is a pretty nice leaf, but it's still small, and Gaskills, y'all know those leaves get really, really big. So once it starts giving me really big leaves, or it seems like it's kind of outgrowing this space, But of course, I'll take it out, put it in my Antherium case because there's a lot more room there. Or I'll put it somewhere over here because I got Antheriums back here too. So I have 2 of these in there. So yeah. I also have in here a Philodendron. I have look like 2 in there. This is a little baby, little seedling or whatnot. So I imagine I probably could take this out of here and it'll probably still do good. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. The other one, yeah, I kind of want to see what it looks like. So I'll put this one actually out here and my kind of propagation kind of area to try to see what it looks like. So that'll be something new that I'll actually do, and I'll go ahead and I'll take both of those out really. I have a lot of these seedlings, so this is the other little pretty little leaf there. If you kind of see that, I want to get my face out of there, but it's the other little pretty leaf. So really excited about these right here. I really want to once I get a chance to, and if it gives me a couple more leaves, I'll probably put it in the same pot, because like I said, I like to have a bunch of like certain plants, because it's not like I need to put these on a pole or anything like that. So I would imagine that this will still be good no matter you know, if I put them together or not or whatnot. And I'll put it in a nice size. And this mix right here is pretty much just chunky mix. Most of my mixes are chunky mix. Perlite, horticulture choco, cocoa husk, you know, just the chunky stuff. Everything that's not soil. So, and then a lot of times I'll even have some like leca in there too, just to kind of give it a nice little space. So yeah. So now on to kind of the different things. This right here should be an Antherium lupinum or whatnot. I bought this some time ago, and yeah, it's a very a very slow grower. But this seems to be the only way to pretty much keep it growing. It seems to do very well in here. It got me 2 leaves right here, and there's another leaf. I don't know exactly if you can see it, but there's another leaf poking out right there, if you can see, like behind my nails. So it's growing. I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't know too much about it, other than I believe it does need like humidity and stuff like that. I got this from Tropical Plant probably a year ago, and as you see, this is what it is. I used to have it out here, but I don't think it liked it out here. I will have to adjust it back to kind of like this area here, because I can't always keep it in here, because there's gonna be, you know, new stuff kind of coming out or whatnot, and I want to switch it. And you know, I have different seedlings, and you know, there's a lot of things that's gonna be happening in the summer, where you know, you get to go to these different plant pop-ups, and people gonna have seedlings and seeds, and you know, you're gonna want to explore. So I would imagine that this is what I'm gonna want to do too. So I just wanted to get bigger leaves, and then we can adjust from there. So I'm gonna start kind of left to right, since there's a big leaf here. This right here is my Negro Laminum GG. As you kind of see, I had to chop it down, and there is a new leaf growing from there. It is in leca, and I believe that this is soil. The roots are pretty immaculate, so I would imagine that this leaf right here is going to be A-OK. But the Negro Laminum GG can be sometimes it can be a little much. I think when the leaves are coming out, I'm not exactly sure how to get them to do well. I fertilize and I switch it out with just fresh water, and I fertilize and I fresh out with switch water. So I'm still trying to figure out the Negro Laminum GG. It doesn't seem to be kind of like other Antheriums, kind of like the lupinum. So they kind of got like a little mind of their own. So still trying to figure that out. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that one. I won't even introduce that one. This right here, what is this? Oh, it cracked. How did it crack? Okay, this here is a Regal. I have a couple different Regals, so I'm not, you know, sad if this one kind of dies back or whatnot. You can kind of see that really I can kind of chop and prop this one right here, but I would rather get that leaf on there, so it look like it's gonna be a pretty good size. Look like there's some dead roots on here, so I'm just being a plant parent, I suppose. and I would understand that, you know, even in the sphagnum moss is probably, I mean, not in the sphagnum moss, but in this high humidity, it's probably a lot easier for, you know, these dead caterpillars to kind of like fall off, and the roots to kind of fall off if need be, if they're old and stuff like that. So that's what we're looking at right here. But I keep you guys up to date. I think that that's going to be a pretty gorgeous, sexy leaf. So I'm pretty excited. I see that I got this in a green pot, so I had to have gotten this from Eco. So yeah, I think, and usually when they're like this right here, they usually come at a pop-up, not down in their shop down in Orlando. So I would imagine that this probably a pop-up. I probably got this somewhere around November, because that's usually when Eco comes here and they come to the Atlanta Botanical Gardens. So that's probably where this one came from. So pretty excited about that. You know, I like the Regal. I think the Regal is a pretty easygoing plant. I'm glad that I have it now in this casing down here. And I didn't even tell you guys what's in here. So I have Leca down at the bottom, and then I have Spagmoss at the top. I water this maybe once or twice a week, if that, really, maybe once a week, really. So and make sure these leaves don't touch. Y'all know when the leaves touch on the Antherium, such a bougie plant. But here, look like we got our Antherium wavy boy. I actually thought I lost this plant a long time ago. I'm not gonna even lie to you. But we do have a nice wavy boy leaf. If y'all can remember, I used to call it Star Boy because one of the leaves looked like it had like a star imprint in it. But yeah, so this is a gorgeous plant. Very different. I know that it is a combination, and if I can remember the combination, then of course I'll put it on the screen. If I don't, I apologize, but I will try to find what the wavy boy consists of. But yeah, it is gorgeous. It kind of looks like any regular kind of Antherium, but once it starts to get mature, you'll notice that it's not just a regular green with kind of white stripes or whatnot. But right now, that's all it looks like. It's giving me what I want. So I'm pretty excited. I see that there is another leaf back there. Wow, 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 wow. That fuck him up. But yeah, so the wavy boy looking real good. I'm gonna put him back because yeah, I don't want to mess it up. But my Antheriums are doing well. I like to put my Antheriums in here, of course, to like rehab them and stuff like that. And I think that they are doing very, very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave it alone. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put these back, and then yeah. So I appreciate you guys for coming out and, you know, just chilling out with your boy. I hope that you are able to, you know, plant what you need to. Maybe you heard some information that you didn't. And if you want to talk, definitely comment down below. You know, I'll get down to you. And if you are here to the end, you might as well go ahead and subscribe. I mean, you're already here. Like it, because that definitely shows me a little love and a little appreciation. And I highly, highly, highly appreciate you. And then comment down below, because it lets me know, hey, I'm not talking to myself. But I hope you guys learned something out of here. And of course, if you got any information, just drop it down below. Y'all know me, Jumanji's plant. And yeah, just keep it smooth. Whatever it is, you can go ahead and pray it out. So I'll see you on the next one. Love, peace, and plants.